All right, welcome to another video of Guzman's Random Review, and this one's gonna be cool, like Intercool. You know what I mean? Like inner cooler, cool. All right, this video is gonna be brought to you by Import Image Racing. That's right, thanks to those guys, I'm part of their sponsorship program. I was able to get an awesome discount on this intercooler. So the link in the description is gonna tell you where to go, where I bought it, and how much you can get it for an awesome deal. So check out Import Image Racing, super cool guys, easy to work with, easy to talk to, super fast shipping. Love them. Also check them out on Instagram, they're easy to follow. And they've got daily videos, they're super crazy, I love the guy. All right, on to the video. All right, I'm Guzman from Guzman's Random Review, so make sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you guys get notified every single time I make a video. So on this video, I'm swapping out the intercooler. Not a stock one, but some eBay special that I got off some guy online that was actually causing more damage than I realized. So now I bought, thanks to Import Image Racing, a GrimmSpeed top mount intercooler. Why did I go with that instead of a front mount? Just for the mere fact that I know I can't pull anything harder than 300 horses. And in talking with Mach5 on the difference for me because of the CVT, which I am limited to 300 horses to a certain extent, the difference in the front mount and the top mount intercooler really is the heat soak that I would have during the summertime. But because I'm not really doing a lot of racing when it's super hot and heavy, you know what? I figured, hey, and I'm not going past 300 horses. I'll be lucky if I get close to that once I install this properly and get it properly tuned. You know what? Top mount intercooler is fine by me. If later on down the road I see that the top mount intercooler with the IG short block stage 1 performs great and that I could actually push it some more with the limitation of my CVT, maybe I might consider it. But for now, top mount intercooler is fine with me. So enough jibber jabbing. I'm gonna start getting installing because you know what? It's gonna take about an hour. All right guys, because of all the installs I've done before, this should be pretty self-explanatory. If you haven't seen a top mount intercooler, it's easy to look up online. So anyway, all you're gonna need is, if you have a factory one, you probably have a little more to do with this, with taking off your charge pipe, but this is a most valuable for the WRX socket. This is a 12mm socket. You're gonna wanna take off these brackets. You're gonna wanna take off the ones at your aftermarket intercooler. If you have a factory one, you should have the same. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna take those off. Lefty loosey, righty tighty, no big deal. And this should be fairly quickly taking this off. By the way, while I'm here, I just wanna let you guys know that we're not just installing this intercooler, all right? So we're also gonna be taking off this heat cover, and we're gonna be taking off this plastic right here and redoing this with the GrimmSpeed intercooler so that the scoop actually forces air into the intercooler. That was one of the main issues I was having with my aftermarket no-name intercooler, was the fact that I had air going in, but it wasn't channeled directly into the intercooler. And it wasn't, I don't believe it was properly built for this car, period. So air was just flowing out. And once I was informed of what my issues were, I definitely checked it out, that one side was hot, one side was not really as cool as it should be. But either way, this wasn't channeling air properly into it, and I never thought about it. And that's that, you know how it is. So moving on. Well, I guess I can't get all fancy with the recording on this spot because it's such a weird area, but anyway, I just wanted to show you guys the difference of where I'm coming from. So, this is any 2016 and above, 15 and above intercooler. I haven't used this in years, as you can tell. It's dusty, it's old, it's in the Vital box this came in. So, here's the factory one. Here is the one that I had, which you can tell. Don't ever use this, please guys. If you find them on eBay or whatever, run and hide. It's not made for our US specs. If it's for an Asian version, sure, I guess, maybe they manufacture it in a way or they come with extra parts, but whatever. You see this, America, don't get it. It's not for you. It's gonna hurt your car. It did mine. This is yours. This will hurt your car if you start doing aftermarket parts and you don't change this one right away. So it works, it's functional, just not to the performance you need. If you leave your car stock, you're fine, no big deal. But if you are putting in intake, you want to do more horsepower, any kind of modifications, I would say this and your intake are the first to swap out. All right, by the way, guys, I want to show you, I don't want to leave you hanging. To swap these out, all you got to do is get a flathead screwdriver and wedge this out. It'll take a few minutes. Try not to rip your rubber there. All right, and then just gently slide that out. And there you go. Save that, put it off to the side for your next intercooler. I'm gonna save that for my GrimmSpeed one. Okay, so here's the semi unboxing. Thank you for supporting products that are handcrafted in the US of A. That's GrimmSpeed, here done in America. And also, Import Image Racing, I want to give them another shout out because I really appreciate it. I sent them an email on my issue and they got this out to me ASAP within 24 hours. So I really do think it's awesome how they listen to your comments. They really do support the WRX community, so I really appreciate them. And when they can, they support you when you need something. When I told them my situation about overheating my engine and that I put a brand new engine in here, I think that kind of helped them or gave them a little, you know, warm, fuzzy feeling of saying, hey, let's help this guy out one time. You know, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna get that every time, but either way, those are great guys. Import Image Racing, thank you very much. This part right here is what's gonna help me out with getting the air forced into the intercooler. Here you go, all the fins. It's gonna go right there, or that's gonna go on the top. I'll read the instructions. These are all the parts necessary to make sure the air is flowing into the intercooler as you need it. This looks sweet. If you could see it in person, you would probably say the same thing. There you go, a little coupler, some rubber edges to soften the edges. And here she is, the beast. Definitely a beast. Oh my goodness. This thing is like 2 times the weight. Oh, by the way, yeah, I see some other parts I don't want to destroy. There you go. License plate from GrimmSpeed. I can put them on the front and the back. For comparison, here is your stock intercooler. 2015 and above. Stock intercooler. Super light. Feels like it's like, you know, 10 pounds maybe even 15, I don't know. Something like that. Okay. I'll put that there. This bad mama jamma is not 10 or 15. This feels more like I'm 45. No, not 45. I'd say 35. You know, this got some heft to it, some weight. It's a lot thicker. It says GrimmSpeed right there, made in the US of A. And look at the thickness. All right, like almost double. Okay, in thickness. So there you go. All right, so just another recap, or just a recap anyway. I put the bracket back on because I want to get this prepped. I also put the coupler back in. I've got my own, or I've got a GrimmSpeed coupler that came with it. And here's the Cobb coupler that I had with the other no-name intercooler. So this is a Cobb coupler for the intake manifold. It's about this size is how the GrimmSpeed is. It's a straight pipe, straight silicone hose for this type of intercooler. I want to show you guys something. Let me see here. So we've got the hose is already in there, the manifold, and this sucker is not going to fit with my bracket mount here and this Perrin tower bar there. I can, you know, try and wedge it in there. It's not going to happen. This thing is too darn thick to fit in that little space and have that tower bar at the same time. And I can see I'm already bending some fins here, and that's not good. So I'm going to take off that tower bar, and that's going to be an eBay special for sure. Okay, so the bar is gone. We've set the bar. We've taken off the bar. Now we're going to put the beast in. All right. Look at that. the intake manifold area is always a hard little area. So don't be surprised. You're gonna have an interesting time putting that part together. Now, let's see here. Oh, that's why I'm fighting. This would help a lot more if I had a partner helping me out. So, yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tighten some parts up so that I'm not pushing and shoving at the same time. I'm gonna take this bolt right here, or the screw. I already put the part in place, so that's gonna hold it. And I can now tighten up the other side. I'm gonna tighten this down a little bit. All right, so I wanna make sure there's no, like it's not sealed. I wanna make sure it's completely sealed, properly sealed in the areas. I'm not seeing any loose ends. See that silicone coupler is right up against it. I can see this is gonna be a pain to really tighten up. Okay, I want to make sure that these screws are there properly. Now I got to make sure that the intake manifold hose is right where it belongs. So just make sure that you have both of those belts, those steel belts, you have those loose when you put this in, so that it slides in. And then what I did was I took a longer extension with the 8mm, put it in position, and had to hand tighten it until I got to a tighter spot. And then definitely don't try to, you know, pre-tighten this and having to fight the hose and everything. Let the hose be loose and the belt be loose and everything. Make sure that this is properly sealed all the way around. Don't over tighten it, don't cut it or anything like that, because then you may have a leak. But just tighten it to where it's tight, and then you're good. So for these fins, these splitters, one that's gonna go on the top of your hood and one that's gonna go attached to the intercooler. Here you go. Here are your two splitters, and I'll have a link in the description below to the GrimmSpeed installation guide. It's a little, because they're putting a black on white background, it's kind of hard to see, to identify, but you have like three major rubber gasket hose type things that you're gonna have to wedge along the edges of these. Now, I thought about cutting them and putting them in, but I was like, you know what, maybe I might make a mistake, because in the video they don't cut them, they just wedge them onto each side, and there you go, it's done. So that is all. The longest piece is gonna go on this short little one on the inside, or what looks like the inside. I know this is not real, to see it in person is easier. To see it right here is difficult on video and on YouTube, but either way, the fluffy side obviously is the only one that's gonna go on the outside. If you've dealt with these, you know how they fit, but it's gonna go along the edge, around the edges. Doesn't really, you gotta finagle it, which is why I didn't record myself doing this. And you'll fit it around. The longest hose goes on the short one, and the other pieces, so the two little ones go along the fins, so they don't rattle on your hood or on any part on the inside of the car. And this right here, you'll see the label, and you put this is like the second longest one, and then of course the shortest one goes along the top. This goes along the edges. You'll wrap it around the edge. Like I said, I'll have the link in the description to the GrimmSpeed original install. And now it's time to take the heat shield off the hood. So let's get on over to the hood and let's get that one done. All right, so it's time to be a little bit destructive. Time to take off this heat shield. So I'm gonna give myself a little space here and start taking off these clips here with this handy dandy plastic clip remover. It helps. If not, just take a flathead screwdriver and get under there. And there they go, pop. There goes the, yeah, you know what goes. All right, there we go, finally. This thing is out of there. Whew. Now that I have the cover off, this is not gonna be easy, but I'm just gonna show you a little piece here. So on this hood, you got these parts right here that you gotta break off. And I don't have a puncher, a hole puncher or anything, but you just gotta get these little pieces off, and then that'll remove this rubber square right here. You're not breaking off the plastic, just this rubber piece. You're taking that off and by popping these clips off, and I've gotta figure out how to do it since I don't have like a hole puncher thing. I've got a Phillips head screwdriver that I'm gonna try to punch through, see if that'll help. And if not, I'm gonna, I don't know, figure out how to break them off. So these are just plastic rivets, I guess they call them. So try and punch through them. There you go, look at that. That was literally a punch through. So don't worry, they got screws in the packet, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna do. So I broke all of the little pieces, the plastic rivet, one-time use or whatever, off finally. I just used a pry tool, a little plastic, the pop clip tool actually, because it breaks pop clips with no problem. So this is the part that attaches to the bare part of the hood. Then I'm gonna take this fin looking thing, that should be right about there. Should be something like that. I think I have to go all the way through. There we go, that's what it was. I have to go all the way through. It takes a second, but the pieces do fit. They're all there. You just gotta wiggle it a little bit, and then you got, there we go. See, so I can see how that fits there. Now it all makes sense. So here you go. So those wings where the two little rubber pieces go, they go right there on the edges. This lip comes here, and then as I spin it around, you can see then when the hood closes down or opens up, you'll see the tag there, and that should be yeah, that's it. All right, so now it's time to install or reinstall this device back to where it belongs. So gently when I removed all the stuff. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. Here it is. So here's the part. Make sure that you use the scoop part to go towards the back of the car, back of the vehicle like that. Square peg, round hole. There you go. All right, so that's all there. Yeah, she's done. I could put the heat shield back on, and or not, and it's pretty much call it a day.